I'm not even sure how I'm starting this, but have this every single time. So here I am. I feel like this has become a bit of a trend, like a sofa talk, me just giving my opinions on sort of what's been going on, how I'm feeling, thoughts, feelings. But today is all about recapping on the BIGMAN Weekend, which I competed in last weekend. So I am now officially 6 days post show. I've got so many different thoughts and feelings that I was going to try and put it into a Instagram post, and it just wouldn't have been possible because there's just so many thoughts sort of going through my mind, sort of how the show went, how I feel at this moment in time, and what my thoughts are sort of moving forwards as well. So I thought the best thing would be to actually get this down on a YouTube video, just so you guys could just get a little bit more of a background and a bit more of a context of sort of where I'm at. So, BIGMAN Weekend. If you'd have seen my YouTube when I was here again, sitting on the sofa, my sofa talks, I was saying that the consultation what I had with the orthopedic surgeon was pretty much saying that I was not able to have another shoulder operation, which that shoulder operation, in all fairness, should have been the one what would have put me in the best possible position to not only have my shoulder fixed, essentially, but also to help me to get back on stage and also to actually be able to train the way I need to be able to train now. The consultation didn't go the way I expected it to go, and decisions were made between myself, my coach, my physio and my close circle that I was going to compete. And if I was going to compete, which I did, it was going to be the BIGMAN Weekend, which would have given me about 5 weeks worth of prep. Now, I'd already been dieting, so I was fairly lean, so I was confident in the fact that I would be able to continue to diet, but also continue to diet to a point where I know that stepping on stage, I would have been in the best possible condition I could have been in, and I would have been able to present my best physique for what that would have been at that time. Now, I won't sugarcoat it. There were some very, very difficult moments during the whole process of the prep, in sense of not so much the diet or doing the steps, because that's just part of the routine anyway, but more so the poses. Up until I would say 2 weeks out, I wasn't able to still fully hit a front double bicep pose. Now, I've got pictures what will be shared in this YouTube, and there was moments during this prep where I was thinking I'm only probably going to be able to do one bicep pose with my good shoulder, which is my left shoulder, and my right shoulder I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Am I just going to hit that as like a front lat spread pose, which is not a front double bicep pose? Am I going to just almost forfeit that pose because I can't actually get into it? So many different thoughts going through my mind, but I continued as normal because I wanted to be on stage, and if this was going to be my last time, I still wanted to try and give the best account of myself as possible. My rear double bicep pose was the pose that I was able to start to get into from before I seen a surgeon about 5 weeks ago, but there was still a lot of inflammation within my shoulder which blurred the definition. So this is what led me to see my physio, Radu, in Worcester, which was like a 3 hour round trip, and then seeing him, I was there for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. The equipment he's got was really good with edema, so taking away the sort of inflammation in the shoulder, and I was seeing the improvements, and seeing those improvements gave me so much sort of fire to know that, you know what, things are improving, and because it's improving, this is just a sign that I am doing the right thing. The machine was actually that good, I said to him, and he actually suggested that I could take the machine away with me, but because of the length of time I was going, because I like to go to a show like a week before, get accustomed to the area I'm at. Although Spain isn't very far travelling wise, I wanted to make sure that I was accustomed Didn't feel any sort of jet lag, wasn't feeling any sort of extra fatigue, which actually led me to actually buy the same machine what he has. So brought the same machine. It cost a fair bit of money, but I see it as an investment. It's not only an investment that was able for me to take away with me, so Kerry could do the treatment on my shoulder, but also it's an investment that throughout the off season that I can continue to use it. So after any upper body training session, I can use it. I can use it on the shoulder what's affected. I can use it on another shoulder, but it treats so many different areas of the body that it's just well worth the investment. And Radu, take my hat off to him. He went through the machine and what he had explained to Kerry. We recorded the videos on what needed to be done in terms of setup, how many times a day we should use the machine, how's best to sort of move forwards to keep that inflammation down with the shoulder. So that's just a little bit of a recap on sort of the processes, what I took to actually get to being on stage and posing. In terms of posing, so I would check in with Cuba every single day. I would send him a posing video, posing rounds, and then individual still shots. And as the process went down from 5 weeks and we started to getting closer, I would say from about 2 weeks out, we started to see the visible improvements within my front double biceps. Now, don't get me wrong, it was not perfect. There were still some poses like my front lat spread, what we had to tweak. But while we was tweaking these poses, it was giving me more confidence, because you'll see from the pictures from 5 weeks out compared to what you see on stage, it's night and day different. And I'm still a little bit shocked that I was actually able to hit the poses as well as I did on stage, but it also gives me so much confidence now for the future, because although a doctor can tell you that it's over, I think a lot of it comes down to your mindset, and it comes down to your application of how much do you want it and what are you willing to do to make it on stage to be the best possible version of yourself. And I've got to also give a massive thank you to Monica. She did a pre-stage assessment with me where she does sports massage treatment. So the day of the show was a Sunday, so I had my pre-stage treatment on the Saturday. She also was available for me on the Sunday, which she wasn't going to be working with anyone else. After pre-judging, after my individual routine, so the free posing, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and she's working on my shoulder to keep it as loose as it could be mobility wise, so I can actually execute my poses the way I could do. And I can hand on heart say, if I didn't have that extra support on that day, in that moment, then the poses would have been a little bit more difficult for me to hit. I would have got into it, but it would have been definitely restricted. And the show was definitely different in the sense that I competed in the evening, so it was pushed back. I think I first got on stage about 10:30 at night. And for anyone who is a bodybuilder or open bodybuilder, you know, going on stage so late at night, there's so many different factors what needed to be taken into account. And I'm so grateful for my coach Cuba, because throughout the whole peak week process, we was not only taking body weight after each meal, but we was also tracking how much water between each meal, and getting a good idea and a sense of what I looked like at certain points of the day, which then helped to manipulate what we do on show day, because we had a good idea that I would have been on stage late. And although he wasn't there to support me physically, Meg, his wife, was there. So they communicated, so there was that extra support from her also being there. Now, I've got to give a big, massive shout out to all of those people who supported me and actually physically came out to the show to be there for me. So my brother, he surprised me. I had no idea he was going to come out and actually support me. It's the first show he supported me internationally at. My training partner, Carlton, he's been a massive support throughout the whole of the time we've been training together. This year he's competed and he's done well in his shows. So for him to have so much going on in his own personal life, but to still be there to support me, that was huge. And also my friends Fiona and Josh, they came out to support as well. And believe you me, when I was on stage, I could hear them. And that extra support just from my friends, the close friends, the ones who know how hard it's been during the lows, them being there to support me on stage gave me that big extra boost. Now, going to the show itself, it was a stacked lineup, 27 people in total. There was Olympians, people who were already competing before. The front runner for the show, which everyone made pretty clear, was Akeem Williams, who won the show, and I believe rightly so. And I think he was a deserved winner, and someone also who's been through shoulder injuries, and me and him spoke separately. So delighted for him winning the show. And there's also other Olympians who was in that lineup as well, who I actually beat as well. But a stacked lineup of 27. I finished fourth, and if I am being totally honest, as a competitor and as the person I am, I compete to win. But me competing and finishing fourth, I actually see it as a win. I see it as a win in the sense that 5 weeks ago I was being written off, being told that this is it, your career's over. And in my opinion, I defied the odds. This medal right here of finishing in fourth place, to me, this is finishing in first place. The feedback I've had from people in the crowd who wanted pictures with me post-show, the feedback what I've had in my DMs, which I'm still trying to work through, the positive comments what I've heard on podcasts as well about me. Honestly, I'm literally blown away. If I was a person who was to give up and not actually step on stage 5 weeks ago, I would never have had this opportunity to present my very best physique. And for that, I've got to give a huge amount of credit to my coach Cuba, because he's not only supported me through the most difficult of times. I've got friends who haven't supported me through the most difficult times, but as a coach, he supported me through the most difficult of times. And it's also helped me to become a better coach as well in the process. It's funny because he wrote a post and I also wrote a post on Instagram, and he put in his post that there's been times when he's been very hard on me and probably harder than what he should have been. But I've always said to him from day one, whatever needs to be done as a coach or whatever needs to be said, I won't take it offensively because I know it's coming from a good place. He wants to see me succeed, and ultimately I want to succeed. And the only way to succeed is to be able to take on constructive feedback. Now, some people can't handle that, but I know for a fact that the person I am, based on when I last competed in 2022, it wasn't the results I wanted. So every single day since 2022, my whole process, despite the injuries, the first injury was the knee one when I first joined Cuba, and then it's been an ongoing shoulder problem. Everything since 2022 has been building me up to step on stage in my best possible shape, and we absolutely delivered that last week at the BIGMAN Weekend. And like I said, although it wasn't a first place finish, in my mind I can look back on these pictures, the videos from my posing routine, and I am filled with so much pride, because this goes deeper than just stepping on stage. This is, the best way I can put it is, when you go through hardships and you decide not to surrender and you keep ticking a box despite how you feel, because there was days when I'm telling you I did not want to get out of bed. There was days where I didn't want to eat my meals. There was days where if I didn't have a training partner, I probably wouldn't have gone to the gym. Days when I'm going to the gym and I'm in the gym and I'm like, I've got to get out of the gym because I can't train the way I want to train. And if I'd have given up back then in 2022, 2023, when I'm going through all these process, I would never have made it on stage this weekend. But I made it on stage, and I'm so pleased that I made it on stage. And the amount of people who have reached out to me, I'm a very private person. I would have happily have gone through this whole process and not even spoken about what's going on with my shoulder, because I'm very private, and it hurt, to be honest. It still hurts now, knowing that this is the hand that I've been dealt. But the hand that I've been dealt now, it's now reached other people who are going through similar injuries or in a similar position with different injuries, and they can relate to me and I can relate to them. And I've not now got coaching clients who I'm coaching to help them through their difficult time. And bodybuilding is very much judged on how you look, and I understand that certain poses, even on stage for myself this last weekend, wasn't the way I would like to have presented them, but it was enough for me to place in a show. It was enough for me to place fourth. Other than my pro debut when I placed seventh, all the other pro shows I've done, I've placed within the top 5. And for me, I am very, very grateful to the IFBB Pro League. I'm grateful to Emilio for such a great production that he's put on. All the judges who was there, the head judge Maz, who I spoke to and got feedback from. It gives me great confidence for the future. So when I last done this video, sitting here, the sofa talk, I was saying that I think this is going to be my last show. I tell you now, this is not the last show. The fire, what's in here, burns deeper than ever, and I'm going to do everything I can to look into alternative treatments, to try and keep myself going. My ultimate goal is to qualify, win a pro show and get on that Olympia stage. I wanted to do it last weekend, but that didn't happen. But this, like I keep saying, this medal is a symbol that I've got more in me, and because I've got more in me, I can't stop going now. And I've got to give a massive thank you and shout out to my sponsors. I'm wearing the clothes trained by JP, Corinne and Jordan, because many sponsors probably would have pulled a plug on me because I've not been able to compete, but they've stuck by me. They've checked in on me. They've asked me how my well-being is, how my mental health is, and I am so, so grateful for their support, because without their support, alongside the support of my close circle, I don't think I would have been able to get as far as what I've got to. And the best way I can put this weekend is in a few words, if that's even possible, is it's the best thing what could have happened to me psychologically, physically and mentally, because the fire what's inside of me now is a fire that it was already burning higher before, but it sparked something more. And I am going to still approach every single day with the intent that I'm going to be better than the last show. And because I'm going to be better than the last show, my time will come. And I don't know when exactly it will come, but it will come, because I'm going to give everything I can to be the best possible athlete I can be, but also be mindful of the fact that I know that there's still an injury, but it's training smart. For anyone who sees how I normally train, you'll see that I train with really good accuracy. I don't just throw the weights around, so to speak. But if I go back to how my shoulder was before, if I was doing an incline Smith machine press after everything was going on, I could literally lift 2.5 kgs each side on the Smith machine. That's how much I could lift. When it came to during prep, I was able to get up to like 50 kg each side on a Smith machine. So I've seen some comments saying about Marc has imbalances in his physique. He needs a bit more back, he needs a bit more chest. But if you was in my shoes for the past 2 years, not being able to train properly, but still turning up to the gym and lifting what you could lift for that moment in that time, you'll understand a little bit more of my story as to why maybe I haven't got a bit more density in my chest, why I probably haven't got a bit more thickness in my back. But believe you me, I'm going to do everything I can to fill those extra gaps, because this is what I want to do. And I think the biggest takeaway point here was my legs was always lacking. I knew I always needed more in my legs, and I have been able to focus so much more on my legs, and I had so many positive comments on how I've managed to bring my legs up. And it's because I've almost been forced. My hand was forced in a sense that I couldn't train upper body the way I wanted to. So what did I do? Put more time and focus into your legs. So if you're someone who's going through an injury, I would strongly encourage you to continue. When my right side shoulder wasn't good, I trained my left side because there's cross-body education. The strength transfers from the left side goes over to the right side, so it will help the process moving forwards. Don't give up on yourself, because there's a story to be told. And when I've been going through all of this, there's so many people saying, there's going to be a story to this, you'll understand why, and everything happens for a reason, but when you go through it, you don't understand. And one of the conversations I had with Rob Latty, who is a mindset mentor, at the end of 2022, I spoke to him and I said to him, look, I feel like I'm in limbo. I'm not sure what my next step should be or what I should do. And he gave me some very sound advice, and we've spoken at different points as well. And the conversations around mindset has greatly helped me to actually move forwards, and not just move forwards as an athlete, but also move forwards as a coach. And during my darkest of days, I've actually built up a coaching business that I never had before. And the reason why I never had that before, because I always thought bodybuilding was going to be my avenue for me to get to the top. And this setback, so to speak, opened my eyes to the fact that I needed more. And now being able to establish myself as a better coach and have a better client base, but also fulfill bodybuilding, it's just a reinforcement that you don't have to just put all of your eggs in one basket. You can actually do more than one thing at a time. But it comes down to time management, and it comes down to sometimes being able to put certain feelings aside, like how I felt with feeling quite low, and actually still moving forwards. Now, I have a whole list of thank yous for people on my phone. First and foremost, it's going to go to Kerry, because her support has been unreal. My family, my brother, my mum, my dad. Ali Narani, who is the shoulder surgeon who done both of my shoulder surgeries through OS Clinic. A big, massive thank you to him. I've already thanked my sponsors, Trained by JP, Corin, Trained by JP Nutrition, Trained by JP Clothing, my coach Cuba, Meg, Carlton, my training partner, Josh and Fiona, Transform Now. They look after all of my blood work. Anything I sort of need from them, if I need IV drips, if I need any sort of help or advice or a phone call, they're always there on hand. Iron Monkey Wear, again, I've left it late with them because I didn't expect I was going to be competing. I've been practicing in the same old posing trunks since like 2021, and my glutes have grown a lot more, so they literally came through with some new trunks for me. So I'm very, very grateful for them for sending out, again, a pair of trunks that fit perfectly, and just thank you so much. I've already mentioned Radu, my physio. I keep saying it is literally the best physio out there. This isn't a plug. This isn't me getting commission. This isn't me trying to, I don't know, sell his services. But I can hand on heart say, if he was a 6 hours drive away, I would literally travel 6 hours, because his knowledge, expertise, and his care for his clients goes above and beyond. I've got a friend called Hammer, who is not only a friend but also a client, who I'm very, very grateful for. Rob Latty, mindset coach. I think mindset is such a powerful tool, and once you can sort of master your mindset and understand a little bit deeper on how your brain sort of works, it's a great tool to be able to unlock to get the best out of yourself. I've got friends, Adrian, Hader, AQ, Oscar, who are all at different points have reached out to me via voice note, through texts, phone calls to check in to see how I am. And these are people who are checking in when they've got their own personal things going on as well. And to be able to reach out to someone when you've got your own personal things, what you're facing, I think that speaks volumes of you as a person. My therapist who helps with my massage, Katie Farndon, got a big lot of respect for her. She's helped me so much over the years. So again, thank you to her. All my coaching clients are great. They've been very understanding. They'll also tell you that even when I got the news from 5 weeks ago, and I explained to them in the group, because I coach mainly men, and I explained to them what's going on, and they're like, Mark, we support you, go and compete. We're not going to check in tomorrow because you need a day to sort of process. And I'm like, no, I need to work. I'm delivering you a service. I want you to get the best from your own results, lifestyle clients, bodybuilding clients. Let's continue as normal, because normal to me is functioning. If I just go into a hole and where I was months ago, it's not going to help me. So a big, massive thanks to my coaching clients. My cousin Dean, he sorted out my posing music. You'll notice that I posed to Stormzy, Blinded by Your Grace. Again, this is going back to my sort of background, Christianity, but also the fact that that's the kind of song what's helped me through prep. When I'm out doing my steps, I'm listening to that. This has given me extra fire, extra motivation that I can do it. And you'll see my posing routine when I do post it, it says you fixed me, and that's you fixed me as in God's fixed me, and I touched my shoulder because I know that it's through his help. That's why I was on stage competing that day. My home gyms, Progress Works, Premier Gym, I've got to say a big thank you to you for your ongoing support for myself and also for Kerry as well. And lastly, I'm sure there's more, and if I've missed someone off, I'm very, very sorry about this. But lastly, I've got to give a big shout out to Peter Black, who does all of my content. He has been great, sometimes very short notice, sometimes changing the dates to accommodate me. But every sort of time I've needed him to help with my content, he's been there, and I greatly appreciate him. He does a great job. There's so many different videographers out there, photographers, but I know for a fact that the team I've got, he's very much a part of that team. And moving forwards, I know that once I start to get to where I want to be, these are the people who I've mentioned in this list who I want to keep close, because I think when you're at the bottom, people forget you, but as you start to rise up, people come out of the woodworks. And for me, I want the people who I've listed here to be part of my journey from the bottom to the top, because those are the people who have been there throughout. So if I've missed anyone, I am very, very sorry. It's not anything intentional. I did write a list on my phone, and I've tried to go through as much as possible and mention as many people as possible. But I think basically what I'm trying to say is this is not the end of my bodybuilding career. I will investigate further, maybe see if there's maybe other surgeons who might have extra sort of knowledge or expertise, if there's something extra I can do. But this last weekend has just given me a extra fire inside of me to know that my girlfriend, she's qualified for the Olympia, and I'm so, so proud of her. But my goal is also to qualify for the Olympia, and I'm not going to stop at that. I'm going to give it my best shot. And again, so this medal to me means more than most people will ever imagine, because December last year, I had my first shoulder operation. I had my second one in May, so that was 7 months ago. And I was pretty much told that, and even in my mind, I never expect to step on stage and compete this year at all. So to step on stage, the very last show of the year, and placed 4th out of 27 people, the biggest lineup of a show in, I think, Europe or across. I'm very, very happy with how I looked, and I think the biggest take home here is that Marc Hector is not done. There's more to come. So watch this space, because I'm on a mission, and my mission is to qualify for that Olympia, and that is going to be my goal for next year. And I'm very much focused on making that a reality. This isn't me trying to be big-headed, because I'm not that person at all. Anyone who knows me will know I'm not that person, but I have a goal, and I'm going to keep working towards my goal until I reach it. And once I reach it, then I will be a very, very happy Marc Hector. But this is me. This is my sofa talk. I think it was very important for me to get this message out there. Again, thank you for everyone who tunes in, supports, sends me so many messages. I've got so many DMs I'm still trying to work through, but honestly, I appreciate you all even taking the time to watch this, because it means more to me than you'll ever imagine. And I'll just finish on this. If you are someone who is going through a hard time, stick with it. Lean on people who you know who can support you, and don't give up on your own personal goals and dreams, whether that is someone who wants to compete or is someone who just wants to get healthier. Whatever that is, keep working towards it, because once you get there, it will make everything worthwhile, and those dark days don't last forever. So there'll be a light at the end of the tunnel, and when you get to the end of the tunnel and you get there, you'll breathe a sigh of relief, because you'll be grateful that you kept on going. So this is me, over and out. Thank you all again, and this is my win.
And that is another strength right there. This year, Marc has cried a lot, and his emotion has come out a lot in front of me, not just behind closed doors, in front of others. And yeah, I just think he's incredible. I'm not sure what's going on right now. I'm confused.
So
I thought the emotions just hit you.
the emotions have hit me, but something that I needed to do was do this for you. So
Whoa.
open it as you please. I'm not sure if it's the right way, but this is for you. So it's been in the car, so it's a little bit damp, but
Oh my goodness.
hopefully you understand and can sort of picture what we've done here. So obviously very, very proud of you qualifying, and the time when you got back, we literally was non-stop, so we couldn't really celebrate the way we would like to celebrate. So before we went away, you didn't realise, so the day before I went to the photo frame shop, took your medal. Lucky for you, you've not missed either of them. Got pictures printed out. My brother's gone and collected it while I was away. My mum's wrapped it, and this is just a little token to say, proud of you, well done. And if I could have found your badge, but I couldn't, from your remaining show, I would have had that included. But your pictures, if you want to change those from the back, you can do. But this is just a little gift just to say hugely proud of you and what you've achieved, and this is your reminder of what a great athlete you are.
I don't think any of this has hit me.
I know nothing's hit you properly, but I think it's important to have a reminder for you over these next months, just as what a great athlete you are. Try not to break it. So when I've said all along to people that Kerry's dream is my dream, and when I've said all along that Kerry's dream is my dream, and if I'm not getting there, she's got to get there, and I'm so proud that she did qualify, because 7 shows and getting second places, third places, this is your reminder that it's not by fluke, but this is your reminder that you are going to be on that Olympia stage, and this is going to be your daily reminder of how good an athlete you are, because so many people doubted you. I never, but use this as a symbol of how good you are. Thank you all for subscribing, watching, sharing and following the journey, and I will keep you up to date with what's going on in the off season, my next steps, and thank you all for your time and support, because it means a lot to me, more than you'll ever imagine. Just aside from everything what I've said in terms of my own personal journey, in my Instagram bio and also in my YouTube, in the description section, there is a coaching application form, type form. If you're a lifestyle client, if you are an athlete who was looking to improve your physique, I am here to support your goals completely. I understand that I've been through the processes, and I know that I can help you to achieve your own personal goals. So reach out to me, complete that type form. My coaching is designed for men, whatever level, complete beginners to advanced. I can support you to help you to reach your best ever goals, and I'm very confident that working with myself, we can achieve very great things.